Promised you we were going to get into some college football. You can be a part of the conversation on the C Spire text line at 601-879-4395. Check out cspire.com/business to find out more about how C Spire's gigabit internet can help your business. cspire.com/business. Coming to you from the Pearl River Resort Studios. Pearl River Resort, the home of the sports book at Timeout Lounge. So we floated this idea yesterday, and Michael Borky has formalized it for us in a way that we can look at these matchups. Here's what we're talking about. The Big Ten has added 2 teams. In case you haven't heard, Southern Cal and UCLA are joining the Big Ten. Almost a year ago, the SEC made the announcement that Texas and Oklahoma were coming to the SEC, and both the Big Ten and the SEC, at least by 2025, we'll have 16 teams. And so the question was, which league is better? And there are a lot of different ways that you can slice and dice that. But one of the ways that you can do it is by taking the 16 teams in each league and putting them in order, 1 through 16. Michael Borky used ESPN's FPI rankings going into this season to set the matchups, and then on paper have head-to-head matchups between 1 versus 1, 7 versus 7, all the way down to 16 versus 16. By the way, if we had an SEC Big Ten challenge on just a random week where 1 versus 1 all the way through 16 versus 16 actually happened, it might be the greatest weekend of college football in the history of the sport.
Yep.
How much fun would that be? And it wouldn't be like the SEC Big 12 challenge in basketball where you only had, 10 of the 14 current teams participating because you got the same number of teams in both conferences. Let me just rip through 1 through 16 the matchups, then we'll talk about them. Alabama, Ohio State. Georgia, Michigan. Texas, Michigan State. Oklahoma, Penn State. LSU, Wisconsin. Auburn, Nebraska. Texas 8-4, Southern Cal. Ole Miss, Iowa. Kentucky, Maryland. Mississippi State, UCLA. Tennessee, Minnesota. Arkansas, Purdue. Florida, Indiana. South Carolina, Illinois. Missouri, Northwestern. Vanderbilt, Rutgers. Yes, please.
What an incredible weekend of college football that would be.
You would have to start it like Friday night and finish it like Monday.
That needs to be week 1, and we can go all the way into Labor Day with it. Yeah, or
do it week 1 and start with games on. Have 2 games on Thursday night.
Yep.
Maybe have 2 games that get played on Friday night.
Make Vandy Rutgers play on Friday night.
Okay.
Yes.
I got no issue with that.
Now we're talking.
Nobody
has
have
an issue with that.
What you have. Let's see. So 2, 4. You got 16 total. Once you play 8 of them on Saturday. So now you're up to 12 played, and then play 2 more on Sunday, or maybe 3 on Sunday, and then 1 on Labor Day night.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Ooh. I like you.
Who's not happy? I mean,
the FPI is pretty jacked up, by the way. Auburn, a top 15 team.
Yeah.
LSU, a top 15 team. Rework your formula. Either way.
Maybe that's not the right formula to use. It's just one that Borky picked, and it's
continuity, fine. No biases involved. This was what the computers say are 1 through 16 in the new SEC and 1 through 16 in the new Big Ten.
Yeah, maybe we should use the S&P power rankings. I don't know. Whatever.
The HPI, the Haydad Power Index. Auburn, dead last.
Okay. Let's start at the bottom and work our way to the top. These matchups.
Okay.
Vanderbilt, Rutgers. Who you got?
Rutgers. Easily Rutgers.
I would go Rutgers.
Schiano, man. He'll have them going.
Yeah, Rutgers was 5-8 last year, so won 2 conference games.
How did they play? Were they an APR bowl team?
Or no, they were the COVID replacement, remember?
They were the replacement for A&M, right?
They played Wake Forest and got beat.
That's right.
Missouri and Northwestern.
I take Mizzou.
Yeah, I don't know about that. part of me just
betting against Pat Fitzgerald. It just feels un-American.
I mean, and we watched, speaking of America, Army, our finest, beat Missouri the last time we saw them play.
It's a good point. Missouri had a bunch of guys out.
They did.
In fairness. And Army played a style that even on paper going in looked like it was going to give Missouri all kinds of trouble because they couldn't stop the run. And guess what? Army runs the football a lot.
I'll never forget the kicker taunting salute after he made a field goal against Army just to watch his team lose.
They deserved to lose because of that. All right, so I got the little tally sheet going. SEC, Big Ten. Borky, I got Northwestern here. You're the deciding vote.
I got Northwestern here also.
Okay, so the Big Ten up 2-0. South Carolina, Illinois.
See, this is where it starts to get ugly because I think you're just going to put WWWWW next to the SEC for a while.
I got South Carolina here.
Yes.
I do too, yeah.
Florida, Indiana.
Indiana was an atrocity last year.
By the
they
way,
were really bad coming off of a good year.
I saw a really good Indiana team play a really undermanned Ole Miss team that had zero weapons, and the speed disparity was glaring. Yeah. Florida's fast. They may not be great, but they're fast. Wins. I got the Gators.
Yeah, that Outback Bowl, my gosh. I mean, you saw it in the first quarter. I mean, you were there. On television, it was like one team is way more athletic than the other.
Yeah.
Way more athletic.
Yeah. John Rice Plumlee's finest moment, not playing quarterback.
Yeah, catching a couple passes.
Or piano.
Arkansas, Purdue.
Come on, the Hawks.
Yeah.
You know,
the Hawks all day.
I have a
Blowout
feeling that
city.
game would be fun, though. Remember what Purdue did? We can't forget that Purdue beat Tennessee last year and was able to run with them. Jeff Brom's a good coach.
He is.
Arkansas is going to win that game. If
KJ Jefferson would run wild on a Big Ten defense like that.
But I'm telling you, we would enjoy watching that one. Arkansas would win, but we would have fun watching it.
Tennessee, Minnesota.
I think that wouldn't be close. Although Minnesota's running back, I forget his name, but the guy that ran all over Ohio State then got hurt.
Ibrahim.
He's back. So
yes.
Minnesota could look different.
I like Tennessee's speed, and that tempo, I think, would bother them eventually. All right, so we got 6 games played with 4 wins for the SEC. Next line, Jason says, what y'all just mentioned, team speed, is why I'm absolutely positive that a middling SEC team would have run away with the Pac-12 last year. Watching SEC ball all day, then even Oregon was like Talladega versus Bubba's dirt track. Talladega versus Bubba's dirt track. All right, so we got Rutgers over Vanderbilt, Northwestern over Missouri, and that was a close vote. That was 2-1. Borky and Richard over Haydad. South Carolina beating Illinois, Florida beating Indiana, Arkansas beating Purdue, Tennessee beating Minnesota. Now we get to Mississippi State and UCLA. Where's that one being played, by the way?
These are all neutral sites where the crowds are 50-50.
Oh.
I hate that idea.
I know, but the genesis of this conversation
in real life, it wouldn't happen that way.
Is rooted in, did the Big Ten pass or become equal to the SEC by adding the 2 teams that they did? Mm-hmm. So in this exercise, things have to be equal.
We're going to make this a multi-year thing, and in year number 1, we're going to say the odd number games are home teams.
All right.
And in year number 2, the even numbered games are home teams. So these are all 2-year series. I like this idea even more.
Oh, my gosh. I mean.
So you get Alabama hosting Ohio State in year 1 and Alabama going to Ohio State in year 2.
Oh, man.
Ole Miss hosting. Wait, I don't know. Borky did these like across, so I can't figure out. I guess it'd be the right side. So Ole Miss at Iowa in year 1 and hosting Iowa in year 2.
You do the wave.
So Mississippi State. You're giving it away here, by the way. We're on Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Mississippi State at UCLA in year number 1 of this event.
Well,
W.
First and foremost, I don't really care what corner office says. I'm traveling to this one.
Rose Bowl.
I'm going to the Rose Bowl. I'm going. You can.
Are
just,
you watching
I'll
a
send you
win? Is the
receipts.
question.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Confident?
Yeah, pretty confident. UCLA.
They played well at the end of last year, though. So here's their final 5 games. They lost. Well, they beat Washington. Here's your final 6. They beat Washington in Seattle.
Okay.
Then they lost to Oregon by 3. Then they went to Utah, got beat by 20. Then beat Colorado by 24. Beat Southern Cal by 29. And beat Cal by 28. 28, excuse me. 20.
Ooh.
Played well at the end of the year. I still lean SEC in this conversation, but
Didn't they
UCLA
beat LSU
did.
also? Or was that 2 years ago?
They did. It was just very early, and they lost to Fresno State a week later and Arizona State 2 weeks later. So didn't jump out of the gate.
I think I lean Mississippi State here, but it's a slight lean. So, Borky, who you got?
The winner will be Mississippi State.
Okay. So all 3 of us. Unanimous on that. So that's 5 wins for the SEC and 2 so far for the Big Ten. Kentucky and Maryland.
Kentucky
in
by
Lexington.
4 touchdowns.
Ooh, I don't know.
Kentucky is going to pound Maryland.
Ooh, guys. Talia Tagovailoa back as a starter.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah,
Loxley,
he's not
year,
Tua,
what,
though, right?
3? No, he's not Tua.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go Kentucky there. That's fine.
We'll go with the Wildcats.
Ole Miss at Iowa.
Win.
The Brandon Walker Bowl. The 2 teams he hates more than any others. I would love to see him at this game. The Rebels win in convincing fashion.
Yep.
All right.
Iowa eventually would have to score, like cross the goal line into the end zone, and I don't know if they can do that against Madison Central High School. So
you don't score until you score.
That's right.
Texas A&M or Texas 8-4, as Michael Borky puts it, against Southern Cal.
Give me Lincoln Riley in this one.
Who do we take in the Underachiever Bowl? Oh, goodness. Yeah, in this year I would take A&M.
Caleb Williams.
I was going to say Caleb Williams is playing quarterback.
He's good, but he's not a one-man show, I don't think.
So I flip a coin. Flip a coin for me.
I'll use shout out again, Commissioner Bailey, listener of this show, for your cell phone shaped stress ball that I'm still using. Letters is heads, and just back of the stress ball phone is tails.
All right, 8-4 is heads.
It is tails.
Southern Cal's a winner.
Southern Cal's a winner.
All right. Auburn, Nebraska.
I bet that would be a terribly fun football game, if that makes sense. Like, it would be a bad game, but it'd be goofy. Like, you'd have like a
dumpster fire,
a muffed punt return for a touchdown, and like an interception that, as the guys are turning it, he gets it stripped, and the offense then picks it up and scores. It'd be one of those kind of games. If it's in Lincoln,
it is in Lincoln. It is in Lincoln for this exercise.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Nebraska. I'll stick to my brand.
I'm going Auburn because it's early. I feel like Auburn is better early in the year than they are later in the season. But your 2 votes carry it for Nebraska, and so things are tightening up a bit. That's 7 SEC wins and 4 wins for the Big Ten, with 5 games remaining in this little exercise. LSU hosting Wisconsin.
Spoiler alert, this is the Big Ten's last win.
Yeah, this year I would go with Wisconsin for sure. They played at Lambeau Field again.
Rejoices. By the way, LSU's beating Wisconsin in Baton Rouge. But
in Baton Rouge, yeah.
yeah,
No,
this one is
still
in Baton Rouge.
Oh, that's right. No,
Still
not
no.
this year. No.
Okay, well,
No,
the two of
Wisconsin.
you outvote me, and so the Big Ten gets another win here. Oklahoma, Penn State.
Even with the
This is an
uncertainty.
SEC game.
Yeah, SEC game.
Oklahoma, Penn State in the SEC Big Ten Challenge.
Even with the uncertainty about, Levy and the offense and Brent Venables and all that, athletes. And Oklahoma has more of them.
I can't stand James Franklin. I'll pick Oklahoma. I would pick Vandy to beat Penn State.
There you go. I was going to go Oklahoma anyway. So
Yes. Texas, Michigan State.
was it the last win for the
Austin.
Big Ten?
To me, it is. I think Texas would beat Michigan State if they played in Week 1 this year.
Mel Tucker, good coach. I have no faith in Texas to do anything. I'll take Michigan State.
I've never seen Quinn Ewers.
You've not seen Michigan State without Kenny Walker yet either.
You're right. There is no canine. I'll go Texas in Austin. Hey, Dad gets voted down. It's 9-5 SEC. Georgia,
Stop
Michigan.
the count.
Have we seen that one before?
We done seen that one.
I think it's going to be the same result too.
Alabama, Ohio State.
Bama, all day.
That sounds like an easy answer. I bet if these teams played 100 times, it would be 55-45 in favor of Alabama. But
Oh, no, I'd be more like
it would be-
70-30.
you think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
70-30. Yeah.
I mean, 100's a big sample size. If they played 10 times, I'd take Alabama 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would. I agree.
Yeah. It's going to be a really good Alabama defense. They get the Heisman Trophy quarterback. They
We get this series, by the way, in a few years.
We do.
This is on the schedule.
So that's 11 wins for the SEC, 5 for the Big Ten. I mean, even if you flip 2 of them, if you say we're wrong on 2 of those, you're talking 9 SEC wins and 7 Big Ten wins? Let's say we're wrong on 4 of the games, but it's split. You're still talking about 9-7. Maybe maybe Illinois upsets Florida because of turnovers in year 1 against Billy Napier's team, and UCLA beats Mississippi State in the Rose Bowl, but, oh, goodness, Auburn beats Nebraska, and I don't know, Missouri beats Northwestern. None of those results are far-fetched. All I know is this would be so much fun. And I don't know if anybody is actually trying to pull this off.
They should
I don't know
be.
if there's a ton of love lost between the SEC leadership and the Big Ten leadership right now. And we don't know exactly what the future holds. Whenever it is, you got to get this thing on the schedule to make it happen. Do it. Split the games between Fox and ESPN. Let it be a ratings bonanza. Let the money just